Okay, if your child is taking the CogAT test, let's go over the types of questions they're going to see. There are 9 different types of questions, and first I'm going to show you questions for younger kids who are taking the CogAT. Now, I'm using paper. I know that's old-fashioned, but it's an easy way for me to show you the types of questions you're going to be looking for on this particular test. Okay, so first we have verbal analogies. It's done with pictures for younger kids. And you can see here what we have. It's just like an analogy. It's the bird is to a cage as the sleeping baby is to what? And that would be the crib. Sentence completion on the CogAT is just a question, and the child has to understand the words in the question to answer it. So here we have, what would you use if you ripped a garment? And the child has to know what ripped means, and they have to know what garment means. And the answer would be a needle and thread. And verbal classification, you have 3 pictures on top. They belong together, in this case, because they're all fruit. And you pick an answer on the bottom that belongs on top. And in this case, it would be the cherries because that's fruit too. Okay, so those are the verbal questions. Now let's look at, these are the CogAT types of questions for quantitative. It starts with analogies, just like the verbal questions did, but in this case, the analogy has a quantitative component. There, you can see it better. Okay, there we go. We have 3 tennis rackets to 1, so we subtracted 2. Now we have 5 tennis balls. If we subtract 2, there will be 3 left, so 3 would be our answer. Under number puzzles, what we have there is a boat pulling some squares, in this case 3, and we want both sides to equal the same thing. So we have another boat pulling 2 squares. How many more do we need to add to make them equal? And that would be the one in the middle, the 1 square. And finally, on number series, they do this with an abacus-like image, and here you look at the series, which is 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, and then the answer would be the rod that has 2 balls on it. And that would be the answer. So those are the quantitative type questions. And now we'll look at the last type of question, which are figural questions. Here we have, let's see, figure matrices. So, oh my gosh, I'm showing you the harder questions. Let's go to the easier questions. Yes, the younger kids get easier questions. And the thing to know is that older and younger kids get exactly the same types of questions. They're just easier for younger kids. So all we have on top is a figure that rotates. And you look at how it rotates, and then you take the figure on the bottom, you rotate it the same way, and that gives us the answer. Paper folding questions, they give a diagram of a piece of paper being folded, and then holes are punched in the piece of paper. And then the question is, pick the piece of paper on the bottom that when you unfold the paper on top, that's what it's going to look like. And in this case, I think the answer is the second one. And then on the bottom, we have figure classification. The first 3 figures go together in some way. In this case, there's 5 dots, 3 are black, 1 black is in the middle. So we're going to be looking for an answer that has 3 blacks, 1 black in the middle. And that's how you do the figure classification questions. So there's 9 types of questions on the CogAT, and you've just seen for younger kids, K to about 2nd grade, what the questions are going to be like.